Okay guys, I have someone you really should meet, and it's my neighbor. His van is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Like, let's see if he wants to introduce us to the van. Andreas, hola. Do you want to show
Hola.
us your van?
Of course, welcome in.
Yeah, thank you.
My name is Andreas and I drive a Mercedes Vario, which is kind of like a unique, there's not so many of them, but it looks like a retro old van, but it's actually from 2002. And everyone guessing, they say like 70s or 60s even, but it's actually from 2002. I work as a climber offshore on the oil rigs in Norway. So I fly in between here and work. I live full time in the van. So when I do this kind of work on the oil rigs in Norway, we work 2 weeks and we have 4 weeks off, which means that my company is flying me from anywhere in Europe to the oil rigs in Norway. So when they can do that, I can live full-time van life. I just park my van at the airport. I go to work, do my 2 weeks, have my 4 weeks off, drive wherever I want to, and they just send me from another airport.
So Andreas, please take us through your car.
Well, where to start?
Yeah, where to start? It's so amazing.
So many things. Okay, so if you want to know some of the things I'm most proud of, this is one of them. This is my own music studio. I got everything set up. It takes me about 2 minutes to set everything up with microphone, headphones, guitar, everything is already connected. So the only thing I need to do, open the lid, take the guitar out and start recording, basically. And then another part of the van I'm really proud of is this. The possibility to always wake up inside with having glass doors in the back to just watch whatever beach you pull next to. And walk out on your little balcony.
Stunning.
And with this balcony, I can also put the balcony up and I put my motorbike in the back. So I can bring my motorcycle in the back. Yes, I've been building one van before this one, and I kind of got into this because I've been traveling for so long and I wanted to do Europe, but it was kind of hard to find a good way of traveling Europe. Like backpacking in Europe is not the same way as backpacking in Asia, for example. So I kind of just saw a YouTube clip of someone like building a van and like traveling through Europe, and I just felt that I wanted to do the same. So the first van I built was a Volkswagen Crafter, and that took me 7 weeks of like completing the whole thing, building everything inside. And I lived in that one full time for 4 years. And while I was living this full time, I made all of the ideas and things that I kind of missed and wanted to change for the new van, for this van project. The last one took 7 weeks. This one took 7 months to build. But this is a completely different level. I just went full out with everything. I cut off the whole roof of the car, lifted it up 40 centimeters. I built like a frame in the back to put in my glass windows. I built a lift and a lift system for the bike. I have done so many things to this car that was not included in the other build. For example, I repainted the whole thing. At one point I didn't even have any floors in here. Everything was out. I was rust protecting everything underneath and painting everything from inside and out. Everything is painted and redone. So that's why it took 7 months. Just lifting the roof was like a really big task in itself, because I needed to lift everything. I needed to get everything together so it looks kind of like original, and also make everything work in the front. And also when I lifted the roof, I already decided before that I wanted to have the glass windows. So the frame in the back for the original doors, I took everything of that out and I put in my own frame and like kind of raised the top of the doors to put in my glass doors that I bought just for this van. So it was like special made just to fit into this van. So this is the part I lifted the roof. 40 centimeters altogether.
That's sick. That is really insane.
And the reason why I did this is because I wanted to be able to walk under the bed, so it could be a completely new room, basically. And it just made me so much more space inside. This is where I sleep. Never done any of this kind of work before, so it was a big challenge for me. It was a lot of YouTube checking and stuff like this, but it hasn't been a lot of people doing this, so it's not a lot of information to get. So I gathered what I could find and I just went to work. And the third part I'm most proud of is my gym. So within seconds, I have a full gym. I have a bench and I have my own dips and shins thing. But dips and shins thing.
Machine kind of equipment.
Yeah, equipment.
Do you do your workout every day?
Yes, I do my workout pretty much every day. And when I have everything so close connected to the van, it's not a hassle to get the gym set up. And when you have this view, it's amazing. So you do dips, okay, fine, you're done with that. You do this, and you do shins. Easy as that.
Easy peasy.
How much money? Too much money. Too much time and too much money. In the end, I actually had a day when I was sitting down, calculating all the receipts and everything from the build. And I ended up around, with the van included, around 37,000 euros. This is actually my toilet and shower. And together with the shower and toilet, you press that button and you have hot water straight away. No boiling, nothing, just hot water.
With gas, right?
With gas.
Mm-hmm.
Voila.
And you take a shower there.
That's my shower. I would not redo anything. Like, that's why this took so much time, because even if there was a shortcut somewhere, I just never choose to take it, because I wanted to do everything just as I imagined. And I've done it. I lived in it for a year now, and there's nothing that I would redo completely yet. Like, you always want to change some small things, but that's in general whatever you build. But in general, I'm super happy with everything I built. And when it comes to all the systems I put into this van, for example, the electricity system, everything is put inside the wall. Nothing is taking up unnecessary space. I can use all the space for clothes and whatever, all my toys, you know. And also the water tanks is underneath, the gray water tank is underneath, the battery is underneath, the gas tank is underneath. So nothing is inside the van. Everything is just space for my private stuff. The biggest challenge I had when building the van was rust. These Mercedes Varios are famous for rust. Like, everyone that has one of these knows what I'm talking about. And everyone I've been following, like on Instagram or any other like social media, they all have the same problem, rust. Everywhere. So for the build itself, I had problems with rust. I had to redo everything underneath. I had to cut out some parts of the chassis and put like fresh steel in there, because it was just so rusty. And whatever I touched, whatever I did, like even like unbolting screws was rust. Some of the floor screws I had to drill out or like put like a nut and weld and kind of like take out, because nothing was easy just because of the rust. And when I actually did the first travel with the van, I had problems with the rust there as well. Like, my hose for the clutch there was like one part of the hose that I couldn't see when I inspected the whole car that had a little bit of rust on it. So in Switzerland that broke, so I lost my clutch, and I've been having problems with the brakes because of rust. I've been having problems with so many things, and everything has been related to rust. So if it wouldn't be because of rust, this build would probably take 3 months less, easily. And this sofa can easily turn into the divan sofa. Now all of a sudden you have a big divan sofa, you can invite some people over for dinner, and you can easily fit 8 people here.
And you also can watch movies over here, right?
Yes. So if we have movie nights, we just make all of this bed, because everything just goes together just like these two. And here's the cinema. For work, I go to Norway. So we work on different oil rigs. So I work with rope access, which means that we go out on oil rigs. Sometimes it's just for maintenance, and sometimes we have like projects that is just for our rope access technicians. So we go out. Sometimes we can have like a big project where they need to take something like massive in or out, and we need to help the crane people to rig basically out in like free air. So we set up our ropes, and we hang down to these kind of positions, and we help the crane. And this is just like one of many examples. We have so much work, and there's a lot of people that needs to be working with this, and it's getting more and more every year. And I'm really happy to be able to do this, because I love adrenaline, and this kind of like gives me that kind of satisfactions. But also everything is about safety when you're on an oil rig. So we have so much planning, so much things we go through before we get to work to make sure that no one is going to get injured in any way. When I do this work, the company pay for my tickets there and back, and sometimes they even pay for the parking costs where I put my van in the airport before I go and when I come back. And that makes everything so much cheaper for me. And then during these 4 weeks, it all depends how much I'm driving. Because this lady, she drinks a lot. So if I'm moving a lot, there's a lot of expenses. But if I stand still and just move a little bit, because I have the motorcycle as well, I can always use that, and that's like pretty cheap to get around with. I can live from like €1,000 a month if I'm basically stationary somewhere, or it can be up to €2,000 to €3,000 a month, depending on how much I'm driving. For example, now I was driving from Sweden to Spain, basically just like straight through, and that was so expensive, because this is a truck. That means that like all the road tolls and everything is basically twice the price you pay in a normal van. So having this kind of like big luxury home comes with like some side effects as well. But now I've done the trip down to Spain, and now I can start living cheap again. From Sweden to here, well, it's almost 4,000 kilometers. And this one drinks around 1.6 liters per 10 kilometers. And together with the diesel price, that's, I don't know, from my head, that's probably like 3,000, 4,000 euros or something, just in diesel. And road tolls, just by driving through France, was almost like 200 euros. And yes, this can be bed, but it's also tons storage. So all this is for my toys. This section is for my kite surfing, my climbing stuff, my snorkeling stuff, and the other one is for my paragliding, paramotor, camping, etc., etc. And for all my small equipments, I have the diesel heater, I have my water gauge, and I have my LPG gas just right here. But I don't want anything to be visible, so not visible. I love this kind of lifestyle. I've done this for almost 5 years now, and I still love it. I haven't put like an end date to it, but as for what it is right now, I'm gonna go to Tenerife. I'm gonna buy an apartment in Tenerife, and over years I'm gonna buy a couple of apartments like all over the world where you have like kind of like an all year season, and then just stay around these areas, move in between them, and just rent them out Airbnb. So the van is not gonna be full-time van life anymore. It's gonna be for vacations and stuff like this. But I'm never gonna be able to sell it. I mean, I put so much like soul and effort into it that I'm never gonna be able to sell it. It's not like the money I get back, it's not gonna be worth it for me. Never. So welcome to the roof. Here I got a big terrace and 420 watts of solar panel. And for battery, I have 350 amp hours of battery.
Is it lithium?
It's lithium, yeah. Of course.
Of course. Of course. This is cool. Oh. How often do you park yourself up here?
Well, if it's a really good suntan day,
Yeah.
this is where I am.
Yeah. You're getting popular with your rooftop. Everyone wants to be on your rooftop, isn't so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When people see me having this, like,
Yeah.
for example now.
Yeah. Our neighbors see that. Woohoo! Everyone wants to be your friend. Super cool. Yeah.
If you're thinking about buying and building a van yourself, I think it all comes down to your own personal like hobbies and interests and stuff like this, because whatever you want to do when you travel, that needs to be a part of the van build. For example, I do like a lot of kite surfing, I do paramotoring, I love the gym. I built everything into the van because I can't live without it. So it's a part of me, and I think that's why I ended up like having such a big van, because I have so many hobbies and interests that I wanted to do, and I couldn't live without any one of them. So whatever you want to have with you, and you know that this is something that I really gonna use a lot of the time, make sure that you find a space for that and build everything around this.
Andreas, I have a little challenge for you.
What's the challenge?
If this video gets... Where are you? There you are. If this video gets 5,000 likes, I know that you have a lot of, material since you built this car.
Yeah.
If it gets 5,000 likes, will you upload it then?
Yes,
Versus your
I will,
YouTube.
I will put my sorry ass down and I will start to do all the editing, and I will upload this.
Please, because we really want to see how you build all of this. Because
Yeah,
Now
I mean,
you're
I got all the films, so it's just about the editing and like uploading it.
yeah, you're a little lazy, so now you pinky promise. Right, good. Now we have it on film also.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. 5,000 likes, guys.